We'll go over two different ways of training your speed today. One will include weights and the other will just be empty hand. You can do those with gloves on if you'd like. First we'll cover just the empty hand practice. Now remember what we did last time with your empty hand training before we did it against the bag. Remember your fighting stance, remember where your guard is, remember to twist into both of your punches. Especially important for your speed training is not to lock your elbow and not to lift your shoulder. So when you're throwing your punches as fast as you can, as well as when you're doing them as hard as you can, you want to relax the arm a little bit, you want to relax the shoulder, and you kind of want to use your waist and pushing through the ball of your back foot, especially on the back one, to generate most of your power. You'll find that when you've got your guard up and your elbow in front of your shoulder, so as long as your elbow doesn't come back behind the shoulder, when your elbow's in front of your shoulder, you can turn the waist and relax the arm, and it's just going to snap out there, just real quick. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. But notice, as I'm extending out and pulling back, when I extend out, I don't lock the elbow, so I don't relax the arm 100%. If I relax it 100%, I'll lock this arm out, then I'm going to cause damage to the elbow over repeated stress. I know it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but when you're doing this intensely and repeatedly, and especially when we get to doing weights, you're liable to hyperextend your elbow, and that's going to cause a lot of damage. So first, just for empty hand speed training, I'd like you to do some pyramids. Pyramids, kind of like what we did before. I covered this in the last video, but not very much. Your pyramid from your basic fighting stance, just standard straight punches. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 10 and then back down. What I also recommend doing is don't just start each time on the front hand. Do one full set where the front hand is your leading of the pyramid, where front hand is always 1. Then do a second set where the back hand is always 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So for weight training, these are 2 pounds. I don't recommend going higher than 3 pounds for weight training. It depends on how big you are, how strong you are already. 1 to 2 is usually fine for speed training. For speed training, what counts the most is a little bit of weight and a lot of repetition. You can do your pyramids. That's a good one to do with your weights. Another really good one to do with your hand weights are the half extensions. So have your guard already halfway out on both hands. Now what you're going to do is just practicing the second half of the extension and rechambering back to that halfway point. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, etc. Do 15, 20 of those if you want on the front hand, then on the back hand. Then reset your guard all the way to where it would normally be when you're doing your typical bag work. And now just practice extending halfway out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice even though I'm focusing just on my hand technique, I'm still opening and closing. I'm still winding and unwinding and slight torque and slight untorque through the waist. Same with off the backhand. I don't know if you can see in the mirror, but I'm still starting to rise on the back foot, even though I'm only coming to about halfway for my straight punch. Then once you've done, again, about 15, 20, depends on how many you want to do. Now put the whole thing together. Go from full chamber to full extension and back to chamber. Especially important, don't lock that elbow. Put weights in your hand and you start locking your elbow, you're not going to have elbows for very long. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, one more thing you can do with your speed training is if you have a partner accessible, then you can do focus mitt training. So the partner will just have his pads up like so. The important thing about focus mitts is it's more for technique and speed than it is for power. Focus mitts aren't designed to be taking a lot of abuse. So you don't want to be going, really punching through them like that. Not really the point. That's why you've got your heavy bag. Instead, just try and focus on just barely skimming the skin of the mitt and the skim of your gloves, etc. Think of crossing your punches. 1 to one hand, 2 to the cross hand. 1, 2, and you'll be good.